The Summer I Turned Pretty is back with Season 2, and 3 episodes are landed at once. After waiting for Season 2, what more could I ask? As you know, the latest season we were left with Conrad and Belly's kiss at the beach, and I was really excited for what comes next. We can finally learn what happened. The first episode starts with Conrad and Belly kissing once again. And guess what? Jeremiah seems more than okay with it. Well, I wish that was real, but it was just a dream. We see that she is back in school, and obviously, she was daydreaming. What is worse is that we learn Susanna has passed away. For a second, I really thought she could make it, but unfortunately, she's gone. She was such an amazing character, and I already miss her. As if it's not enough, we see that Belly's grades are getting worse and she's off the volleyball team. It seems like the only thing she's good at is French now, and we all know that it will be a struggle for her to get into a fine college. On the other hand, Steven seems fine, and his next destination is Princeton. I believe this is tough for Belly. I mean, anyone would feel bad for themselves. Last summer, meaning Season 1 was really complicated for her, and now she has different struggles on her plate. But I believe she will do just fine. In this episode, we have a few flashbacks which show what happened after Conrad and Belly kissed, and we see that he is fine with Belly's relationship with Jer, and he just wants to be with her. So Belly decides to talk to Jer, and as he says that they should let Conrad know about their relationship, Belly confesses that she and Conrad have shared a kiss. Poor Jer. He seems really disappointed, and he thinks he was just a distraction for her while she was waiting for Conrad. And at this point, I'm sorry, but I kinda agree with him. After that, we see Conrad and Belly decide to take a pause as they don't want to break Jer's heart more than they already have. Well, that was in the past. I believe the two will get together somehow. In the present, we see Steven's graduation, and he has prepared the perfect speech. In the graduation, we see Taylor giving the worst advice to Belly, which is to move on from Conrad and try her luck with other people. So she does that and gets rejected. I mean, I think that's okay, but it seems like she doesn't think so, and she wants to go home. Since she is supposed to be Steven's driver that night, he gets a little bit angry and calls her a killjoy. It seems like he's not happy with what she did last summer, meaning kissing both Jer and Conrad, because now everything is weird and they didn't show up to the graduation. She was already feeling quite bad about last summer, and it seems like Steven's words just triggered her. She goes home alone, and she finds herself in another argument, this time with her mother. After the argument, she goes to her room and calls Jer. He instantly asks if she's with Conrad or not, because apparently Conrad is missing. In episode 2, we see Jer tries to find Conrad by making calls to his friends, and we see that nobody knows where he is. Meanwhile, Belly is on her way to meet Jer, and she lies to her mother and says she'll stay with Taylor. Jer and Belly finally meet, and they find Conrad's roommate and learn that Conrad went to Cousins Beach. The thing is, he has skipped his classes, and he may fail if he doesn't go back for an important exam. Jer and Belly decide to go and find him, while her mom and brother have no idea what she's doing. They also talk about her and her grades, and Steven tells his mom to give some space to her. Well, Steven, what about you do the same? Anyways, later on, he sees Taylor, and even though she tries to cover for Belly, we all know that she's a bad liar, and Steven learns that Belly is on her way to Cousins Beach to find Conrad. If you think a road trip to a summer house is one of the best things in life, you're wrong, because we see that it's really awkward for them to spend some time together. He's still angry with Belly, and they argue a little. But I think it's a good thing because he finally got it out of his system, and they can be friends again. Anyways, the two make it to the Cousins Beach, and they find Conrad. But something is really wrong, because we learn that the house is put up for sale now. Let's move on to the next one, episode 3. The episode starts where the latest episode left us. Belly and Jer learn that Susanna's half-sister put the house up for sale, and Conrad has been trying to save the house. As their father doesn't have enough money, Conrad plans to buy it on his own, but it's an unlikely plan for sure. We see that it's really awkward between Conrad and Belly. He doesn't even look her in the eye. On the other hand, Conrad tries to do things on his own, once again. Every single time he tries to keep Jer away from all the bad things, I get him, but he can't do this forever. He needs every help he could find, but he never asks for it. After that, we see that Steven decides to go to Cousins Beach, and he lets Taylor know, so she decides to go with him. Another awkward road trip. Great. Meanwhile, Belly and Jer decide to go and meet Aunt Julia and learn a few more details about the sale. But that doesn't go as planned, and Jer's charm doesn't work on Julia. She's determined to sell the house, and now the only solution for Jer and Conrad is to convince their dad to use the trust fund, but he just doesn't seem to agree with this plan. Let's talk about the past a little. We see that Conrad and Belly go to prom together, but something's off about him. He's sad because he can't stop thinking about his mother's sickness. When he realizes that he's ruining Belly's night, he wants to leave, but it leads to an argument and they decide to break up. Then, we finally learn what has happened in the funeral. This is after their breakup, and we see that Belly wants to be there for him no matter what. But she sees that he's consoled by another girl and causes a scene in front of everyone. Well, that wasn't the right place or time. They argue, and while Conrad says that it was a huge mistake, referring to their relationship, Belly says that she hates him and never wants to see him again. Also, she says, go to hell, and well, it's not a nice thing to say to anyone, especially at their mom's funeral. What do you think? Back to the present, we see Stephen and Taylor finally arrive at the summer house, but they find 3 depressed people because of the sale. Then we see Conrad and Jared talking. I'm glad to see that their relationship is getting better. In the end, Conrad finally seems to accept any help he can get, and that's huge for him. He always pushes everyone when something's wrong, but I believe he won't reject his brothers and his friends' help this time. After that, we see everyone spending some time together, and everything seems really beautiful. It's like a dream. But then Conrad gets a notification on his phone. It's clear that something bad happened, so Conrad goes out. He seems like he struggles to breathe, and it's like a panic attack. He collapses, and the episode ends. I wonder what has caused this incident, and it seems like we need to wait for a week to learn the truth. Why do I feel like Conrad is sick and he just got the test results? I hope I'm wrong. What do you think will happen in the upcoming episode? Will Conrad and Belly get back together? Will they save the house? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and share it with your friends. You can also subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.